Hey everyone, Mac is back. How was your new year? Hope it went well. We're into January of 2021, hoping for a more positive year. And this will be my first video of the new year in reference to guides and tips. Today I'm going to talk about just kind of a general tips throughout the game. I'm going to go over a bunch of things all at once. Some things are probably very obvious, especially to most of you. Hopefully you pick up a few things that I've put together in this video, so you can improve just a little bit, because even those small improvements go a long way. So let's just get started. So we're going to first start with the recruitment pass, so that new pass that they included. If basically you're going to get points or get those coins through this active reward right here, as I'm showing you, and there are only certain things that go through the active reward that you get points for. And each one has a different value. So like if you send a message, or if you do work the training grounds or do 60-minute speed ups, you know, those are ones that you're going to want to do all the time. A camp rally or attack is good too. So make sure you do all of those. Or there's some that don't do anything for you other than get you these little rewards here, which are fine too. You know, if you need an extra 10 minutes every day, which is fine, and collect 10,000 grain, you know, you can go out and do that very, very quickly. These ones here are really not worth it unless you're upgrading a dragon and you're in a smaller phase, I guess, of your castle. But then another 10 minutes here, so if you want to wound 500 or something like that, I mean, you can do these just about every day. Anyway, that's what you're going to want to do to work on that recruitment pass. So if you click on the recruitment pass, you have all these different levels. Now I've purchased the legendary level, so you have the hero and the legendary. So if you purchase the legendary, you can actually change the medals that you want to get. So right now I'm upgrading Theon. You can pick whichever one you want. You can see I have 65 medals that I'm awaiting. I think I need to get that to 100 before I can upgrade him to the epic level. And the other ones here are good too. It seems that from the ones that are here, that Annie is the most expensive when you would try to buy her outright. You're talking very similar. Actually, she's only slightly cheaper, I think, than Marjorie, because she has, I think, a total attack in there, and I think that's what makes her so much better. But it's going to cost you to do that. So I'm upgrading Theon. I like him in the training grounds. I like him against rebel leaders. His actual specialization skills are not that great, but there's just a couple ways to upgrade him. Purchasing him, I mean, is the other way, but this one is actually really good too. One tip that I wanted to give is in here, when you complete this 200 and they give you the next level. You can see I'm at level 74 right now. You don't have to just press the obtain all button down here. I mean, you can see I have 1,000 diamonds and these 5 gems that I haven't even touched yet. And the reason that I'm not touching this row right here, and just for to kind of explain this a little bit further, I didn't purchase this the recruitment pass until about, and I want to say it was, I forget how far in it was, maybe 8 or 9 levels in. So I actually had all this done, but then when I came back, what you can do is you can actually, for this row here, if I just started this and I bought the legendary and I got to level 3 and I didn't want to collect these first 5 over here, what I could do is I could just click on this 3 hour here, and it would just take this row, and I would just collect that row. So that is something that's, I think, very important, because if you have these 5 gems down here and you're on one of those wheels that aren't very good, or doesn't have the best reward. So like, for instance, when you go click on benefits and you have the blessings of the 7 right now, like this is the wheel. This is really not a very good wheel, and that's why I don't want to collect it right now. Those gems would expire after this 2 days they're up. So I want to wait for this, well, actually 1 day, wait for this 1 day is up. and then go figure out another wheel that would be more beneficial to me. The wheel I'm waiting for are the badges, the attack badges. That's the ones I want, because you get 3 potential to get 3 badges of cav or infantry or spear, which is really good. For these ones here, the best one here is that 50% increase, in my opinion. The rest of them, okay, so you get a couple speed, runners and things like that, but this is really the best one. So you're talking about 1 compared to the rest of them that you really, they help you a little bit, but not, this is significant, and those badges will be as well, because you need to get as many as those as you can. So like I said, don't go to those, if you're in here, don't just press obtain all, make sure you don't just get everything, unless you're on the badge that you want, or the wheel that you want, the rewards wheel. So, and don't forget the challenges that are up here as well. You want to make sure you complete those as fast as you can. Well, I say fast as you can, but when in a reasonable time, don't go crazy with it. But then you can see here it says daily, and then it'll actually show you the daily that you have as well. And then once you get to, I believe it's number 90. Show you here in a second. I'm pretty sure it's 90. Yes, you'll get the castle exterior coupon. So, and that is just from the hero. So if you're just going for the basics and you're not going for, I'll get Uma medals, once if you just do it the free one, but you can do the castle exterior, and then you can click on the shop and the exterior up top, and then you can, any one of these castle exteriors you can use that for. They added a new one this time around. So probably just to have people purchase those one as well. But you can see that the army shelter capacity is 100,000. That's a permanent bonus. I highly recommend that for anybody, because if you're going to be a, if you're going to be a 0 castle, that's really helpful. But they also have the spear attack in there, 10%, the cav reduction, defense reduction, and also a total attack of 5%. So that one actually isn't too bad if you don't have any other castles to fight with, and you're a pure spear person as well. So just something to think about. So we're going to move on from there. Just a couple other another thing that might I think most people know, but I'm just going to go over it anyway, is when you're gathering, to make sure there's 2 different troop types you want to use when you're gathering. Either you're going to use cavalry or you're going to use bowmen. Most people, I assume, use the bowmen because of the capacity. So these are royal bowmen. So say you're not to be on royal bowman, you could easily be on elite bowman. Either way, it doesn't matter. But so the capacity of the bowman is way more than the other troop types. So like right now, this one this bowman, the elite, the tier 3s are 15 per bowman. So that's a lot. Now when you look down to the cavalry, it's 9. So it's almost a third of less, about a third less or so, right around there. So I would say then that's not the reason you use the cavalry. You use the cavalry because you use them for speed, because they have twice the speed. So 630 speed for cavalry compared to the bowman, which is 315. So that's what you want to use if you're going to, if you're going to be gather. I would suggest, I use the bowman. I use all my bowmen, all my tier 3 bowmen as much as possible. I don't train anymore. Whatever I have is what I have, because you're not going to use them when you're fighting. They're going to be defending your castle and gathering. So that's just something to think about. I would suggest that if you're trying to get to a node very fast, or say you have a bunch of tier 3 cavalry and you're trying to get to like some short nodes really close by, and you don't want to use these, then then go to your cav, or if you're far, I would suggest the cav further away, but that's just me. So it really depends on what how you want to go about that. I'm just trying, like I said, I'm just trying to give tips on everything too. The next we're going to talk about is the VIP shop, and in the VIP shop there are just a plethora of goodies in here that you can get. And if you don't have a Maester's Tower of F25, then I suggest getting that first before you start purchasing a lot of rewards in here, a lot of different things in the shop, because you're gonna severely slow your pace to getting to that, for all the diamonds you have to buy, the diamonds you have to use to buy the to upgrade those buildings. So, but if you do get in here, if you are finished with that, which a lot of people are, this game's been going on for, I believe, almost 2 years, or maybe we're coming up on 2 years, I think maybe in March. So some things that you want to do is as you can see here, I have this 1,000 motivation that I have checkmarked. Well, that goes into my cart. They added this recently, so you can actually click on here and it shows you what you have in your cart. For me right now, I'm collecting the motivation because that's going to upgrade my equipment. And what I mean by that is that you're going to use that motivation to attack rebel leaders, and the rewards that you get from them are going to go towards your equipment. So if I can gain on these every day, if I can get one for a discount, then I'm definitely going to do that. I mean, I'm getting 40% off there. Then, you know, as I said, we are getting 40% off. Absolutely should be able to take care of that too. I go with the friendship chests. Not so keen on these because they are just of the purple, the epic version. And they are still kind of expensive as well, you know. But I mean, they still give you a discount on those too. They give you, let me see where there it is right there, 30%. So you're getting 30% off of those. So it's a little bit of a discount. It's not significant as well. But I use those. Obviously, you use those, and then you try to upgrade your commanders in the for, like, you know, there's a bunch of different things, you know, based on what their needs are in the tavern. And then you have honor banners, which I think these are very, very helpful. You only get 5 of them, of course, and you might not think that's too much, but I mean, if you get 5 of them a day, and you know, I mean, you're looking at, you know, it's 35 a week. So I mean, that keeps going up, and you need those because your glory level, you want to upgrade those as much as you can. And these random books of wisdom, I think these are essential as well. They give you 2 sets of those. So you know, I collect every single one of those. You know, I try to get as much of them as I can because when you awaken somebody, you need these. And the only other way that I know of getting them is through the rebel camps, other than, of course, events where you might win them. But those are the things you want to look at, and you don't have to go exactly what I do. Of course, I mean, there's endurance. The 600 are really, really good too for your rebel groups, or dragon rallies. I mean, they're really good too. If you need the weirwood for, you know, if you're still collecting Hector to try to, you know, to upgrade Hector, then yes, this is really good because when you get into those weirwood to attack. Never do the materials chests. Precise transfers are actually pretty good. They're giving you 50% off of those. So, you know, 1 a day of those is actually pretty good. So I would recommend that too. If you're trying to train troops, you know, say you're training, you just got to tier 4 and you want to train troops, yeah, come in here and grab 2 of those. Only, you know, it's only going to be 800 diamonds. You're going to get 16 hours of speed ups, which is quite significant for those early tier 4 players, or even late tier 4 players for that matter. Another one, if you're just trying to do research, well, I mean, there's 30% off a 24-hour, you know, 1-day speed up. That's worth it as well. And then and the further down we get, the more expensive a lot of these get, and maybe they're not worth it as much. You know, the elite general tokens, you know, they're only 10% off. You know, is that really worth it to pay 40,000 diamonds? Probably not. If you're an epic general, they only give you 5. Those are worth it at some point anyway. And then when you're fighting, if you don't have one of the 50%ers, you ran out, here you come in here for the 50% troop increase, then you're getting 50% off, so it's really good too. Highly recommend doing that as well. And the rest of them, I mean, if you really don't need any of this stuff down here until you get to the research notes, which you'll need eventually in the research in the Maester's Tower. And then you get some friendship chests where these are the ones that you really want, which, you know, you got to be level 15 for those, which of course I'm not there yet. So you can see I'm only 13, working on that 14. Just something to think about. And if we go back over here, you can see that there's the shop. And in this shop, this is where if you're a free-to-play player and you're never going to spend money. But say you want to spend money, say you see stuff that's really good that you want to spend, this is the first place I would go, and this is the cheapest place you can go to. So you're going to spend 1 black diamond, 1 black diamond. Now, if you in my world in the U.S. where I live, that is 10 cents. So if you spend 10 cents a day, then you're going to get 10 of these. You know, these gems here, they call them these amethyst gems. And if you click on this little chest up here, you go in here and you can get 1 seg medal. So if you want to unlock seg, it'll cost you $1 to unlock seg. $1. That's it. If you're obviously in the US, like $1 to unlock seg, which is really, really good. You're talking $1 to unlock seg. So I highly recommend doing that. Unlock seg, get him, and then just, I mean, imagine spending, you're spending 10 cents a day, put $5 in, and look what happens. You'll get him, and just do it every day. That's what I did. I did every day, because I'm like, there's different ways to do it too. You can spend obviously all these and get a bunch of them. Go back in here. You can buy unlimited of him. So you can see there's a limit on some of these in here too. And you can also do these epic. There's epic general tokens in here as well. So you can, it takes 30 of them to do that. So if you go back out here and look, it's going to take you, now instead of 10 cents, it costs $1 to get those. So that's just another way of getting those, getting these, and they're unlimited. You can see as well, but you have to have those. But I would recommend the seg ones as the big thing that I would talk about. So. And also his awakening stats too. As if you hover over him, you can see that his his training speed is 20%. He has total defense, a total attack of 15%. But once he becomes awakened, you add 20% to all of those, and he will be the strongest player, the strongest commander that you'll have, no matter what. Until you obviously you get somebody else that might be better, which would be way more expensive than someone like him, because he doesn't take these epic ones. He takes the elite general tokens. So like I said, I highly recommend getting seg, and you can use them for other things as well. So make sure you do that. And then we also have the Dragon Forge pack as well. This is one that I would suggest never getting. So on the opposite side of getting a pack, don't do this one. You're just getting these advanced skill raffle tokens, and you really don't need those. You can get those other places, and you can win them. The Elite Trials has them to purchase in there as well, which that's for free. So why purchase these? That's definitely not worth it at all. So just stay away from. I would suggest staying away from that as well. Another thing, if you're a medium spender, I would suggest the monthly card. It's actually pretty good, actually really good value. So you're spending 100 black diamonds, and it's going to get you all of this. So if you're talking about resources, and you say you were low on resources for whatever reason, you don't get this all at once, but you're going to get these throughout every day. You get to collect them. So 30 days worth of collecting all of these rewards here, and it adds up to 12,000 total blue diamonds, and you get 150 hours of. Well, like there you get 150 plus your 240, so 390 hours of, you're probably going to use that towards research anyway. So that's really, really good. It's almost 16 days. Actually, it's about 16 days worth of speed ups. So that's really, really good as well. So you're getting about 12 hours a day just in speed ups, and then you're getting 30 million of each resource except for gold, which you're getting. What is that, about 12 million gold? So yeah, that's pretty good as well. And then you also, if you go up here, if you're not up to level 60, the Lord experience bonus is there, the marching bonus, and also your construction speed, depending on where you are. So this is worth it as well. If you need a quick boost, something you need to get a little bit faster, then the half price here would be the weekly one. Not as recommended. You get some some decent stuff in here, but I would suggest more of the see, they're saying the daily reward here. You're getting 25, which you're getting about 1 day times 7. So each day you're getting 1 per day at there, where you can actually spend your blue diamonds and get the same thing in the VIP shop. So that's just something else that I would consider as well, but not highly recommended. So something else that I don't know if anybody's ever even talked about this too much, but like the Tyrian medals, and the Tyrian is very very elusive. So there's a couple ways to get Tyrian. The main one is to go into, I went to the wrong spot. If you go into the Elite Trials and you go into the shop, so if you go in here, you can see that you can get 5 medals per Elite Trial. So I believe it's about, I want to say they do this about twice a month. So it's like 5 days on or 5 days off or something like that. But yeah, this is where you're going to generally get them, and you want to get Tyrian medals because here and the other places, the elite rewards, when they come up as well, you can get them there. So if I hover over, you can see it'll increase once he's gold, his research speed is 40%, and then he has the total attack and total defense. So he is another free commander that you can get without spending anything at all, and he's almost identical to Seg except for the the research, he has research speed, and Seg has the training speed. So that's another one to do. And what I would suggest if you're pushing forward toward Tyrion to get him to where he needs to be, then you can see right here as you're looking at the elite, this is the elite rewards. Eventually he comes up in here, and he'll come up in here for anywhere from 600,000 to 800,000 points for research. He'll get 2 medals for that, or for training as well. So I save up your training speed ups, save up your research ones, because this is where you're going to want to do it. And of course, in most alliances, if people don't have them, they're very everybody's very keen on it, and we'll tell everybody what's going on, so we'll know where everybody is and what's happening. Just a couple other things too, and this is kind of I think this is kind of obvious, but I don't know if everybody knows it or not. So if you're in the Weirwood, and this is the basic Weirwood, so if you're in the normal or the elite, either one, you can pick one. These boxes down below here, you want to make sure you get all these stars, all 3 stars for every single one. So every single one of these stars needs to be filled in, and that means that you have to beat these commanders, the elite ones and even the normal ones, without losing any one of your commanders. So make sure that you do that, and then when you do that, each one of these stars is worth a point. And you can see down here it has 18 stars, so get all these stars, that's 18 of them, and you get these rewards. So the first one, you get 200 diamonds and some speed ups, and you get the Spirit of the Weirwood heart and some gold dragons, and then a little bit more at the very end as well. So just make sure that you do that for both of those, and you can go back. You can see I can go back the whole way and keep looking, check, and just make sure that you have them all done. Go from the elite ones, it actually takes me the whole way back. Go ahead and check, make sure that all these boxes down here are completed. That's highly recommended when it comes to that as well. And the next thing I want to talk about is the commander equipment. So, for instance, if you click on your commanders, you can see all the commanders that I have here. So I click on Seg first, see all this equipment right here. Sometimes you will see that some of these have the plus box here that you don't have these done. Once you get all your commanders to gold, I do have all my commanders to gold. Highly recommended to do this as well, to get in here and to make sure you have them all they have different equipment in there. What you can do, and which actually you're doing even before. So say, just for instance, I'll make up for instance here. So say Varys. So say I don't have all his equipment here for him. So I'm looking to get that equipment. Well, depending on who you don't have gold yet, you might actually be able to blitz that person for their medals, like say Kravros. Say I blitz for his medals, he might have the equipment from his blitzes in Varys's, they might be for Varys basically. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone in that regard. Now, so what I do recommend though is what you really want to do is go for the medals first to upgrade them. So you want to get, you don't worry about this being to level 8 here. Get them to gold quality first. Like that's the biggest thing, and you can worry about those other things that the equipment lasts. But these are very, very good to get to upgrade as well. And just always check back, because sometimes they will upgrade themselves based on you getting medals from other from other commanders, which is really, really good too. Something that I wanted to, I don't think I can show you. Oh, actually, I can show you. Good. So if we click on the shelter, something I wanted to show, and you can see I have a capacity of 618,000. Now, if you are fighting and you want to access your shelter without having come back in here to the castle map, just put 1 soldier in there. So I put in a royal bowman, say confirm, and now I have 1 in there. Now go out to your world map, and when you're on the world map, which is obviously just like this, you come over to here and you can see the hide time remaining right here. You click on that arrow and then it brings up, here's your shelter. So I can recall that, boom, and now I have access to my shelter. Make sure that you put 1 more troop in there if you want to have access to it again. But if you're trying to hide troops, throw in all these, here, and do it. Actually, throw the Lord in if you want to as well, and get another, I believe it's 11,000 as well. So, and then you confirm that, and boom, you can put it in there. you can leave, and then I can come back in whenever, anytime I want from the world map. It's just a little bit of a, excuse me, a little bit of a tip, just kind of help you, you know, when you're in battle or something like that, so you don't have to go back into your castle to do it. So it just makes it a little bit easier for you in reference to that. One recommendation that I want to tell everybody is, so if we go to details and you scroll to the bottom, and then I scroll up just a little bit, so right in here, so you can see what my army size is. My army size is 480,000. Okay, my deployment limit is 7, and you can also see what my shelter size is 418. Now, my recommendation for this is this is how you tell how many troops, the maximum number of troops that you should have inside your castle. If you have more than that, that means that you can't protect them. And there are obviously a little bit other ways around this as well. So the 480,000 is the base size. If you add, you know, 5 commanders in there, you can get another 55,000 on top of that 480,000 that I have in there. But I would recommend taking this 480,000, multiply that times the 7, and then add in your shelter capacity of 618. That total combination, whatever number that may be for you, because you may have 8 deployments, you may only have 5 deployments, depending on how your research is. That should be your total, especially if you're going to fight. If you're not going to fight, then obviously that doesn't matter as much. You want to have as many troops in your castle as possible for defense. However, if you're going to fight, that's where you want to have, because you want to be able to hide them when you're trying to help out in rallies. You know, because if you don't have that many, if you have too many troops in your castle, then you're not going to be able to hide them all where you need to, and there's no way it's going to be very impossible for you to fight, and you're going to just lose countless troops for no reason at all. And like I said, I think that's just a general rule of thumb. Everybody's different. Some are more skilled in fighting than others, and depending on how you are, if you want to fight or you don't want to fight, or maybe you may be an event person. You just like to play the events and stuff. I absolutely get that and understand that. So just something to think about in the future when it comes to troops. So something else here. We're going to move on to the albums. So if you click on the albums here, you can see that I have several of them done, and I have a few more to go. But something you also want to look at is here the level. So this album level on the bottom left-hand corner, you click on that. You can see I'm on level 7, and I actually just got to level 7. I was at level 6. And you can see down here that level 6 actually gives me, actually that's the collection, I believe. But so I want to upgrade. So basically what you want to do is you want to click on some of these ones up here. Maybe you have doubles or triples of them, and everybody else probably has these. I'm holding on to these just to help out the alliance in case someone needs one, so I don't want to get rid of it, quite yet. I believe the ones that you do is the Death of John Aaron. So any ones of these, you can. I think everybody has that album done, and that's the one I've been using to upgrade. So then once you get in here, you can just click on these, and however ones you want, you can see it's already moving up and tells you it's adding 8 onto there, and then you upgrade it down here. So make sure that you do that, because then when you do that, you get those bonuses. You can see right here I'm at level it's 6, but I got the level 8 level 7. So you can see that I'm getting 3.5%. Well, actually, my here shows you my upgrade. So at level both of these right here, you can see I went from 3% to 3.5 to 7.5 to 10. So enemy infantry attack reduction, I just gained 2.5% from going from level 6 to level 7. Now I'll work on the next one. I'll go for another 2.5% there and another 0.5% there. So I mean, it's not a massive upgrade, but it's something, and the little upgrades add up after a while if you just keep getting them. So that is definitely something you want to work on. Like I said, don't eliminate everything. Like right now, if I look at mine, so I have one of these. I have one. If, for instance, like say I had, the Summer's End shard, say I had 3 number 1s, then sure, use one of those, because you can then give one to somebody else if you really need to. But pretty much everything in here, from I would say the Summer's End to the Watchers of the Wall and the Princess in Exile. I would say all those I could probably upgrade right now. I'm still holding on. It's not a necessity. And the rest of these, actually even these ones, probably the Three-Eyed Raven, I haven't seen many of those either for people needing them, so they've kind of been doing that too. Another tip for everyone is if you click down here on your alliance icon and you click on the management, and that tells you who you're protecting. So over here you can see who I'm protecting and who's protecting me. You can see we're protecting each other at the same time, but it's basically an easier way to get to it instead of when you're inside your castle, because most people have to go, they want to go inside their castle to be able to do this. Well, you can do it right out here, much easier, much faster. Just go to the alliance, go to management, and then you can click on here. And I still have one more that I can protect, and I usually do it with my ult anyway. But that's just something to think about too. It just makes it easier for you and less clicking, because we all know that this game has quite a bit of clicking going on, and it's can be a little bit tedious at times. And another thing to consider here. So if you go to your inventory, and they had this dismantle replace button that came in here. So now you can get rid of things. You can now get these little, I don't even know what they're called, gems. I don't remember. I don't even know what they're called. But anyway, you can get them. So my recommendation on that is to actually, they bring it all to the top. They did. Look at that. They actually changed this, because you had to scroll down before. Check here. Yep, you had to scroll down before, and now it's not there. It is. They put it all up to the top. So what they did is so if you're finished with the champion set, and the champion set is you upgrade it through gathering, you up through getting jute and the poplar. You basically do it through the grain and the wood and the stone and the iron. Those are the 4 things you're going to gather. So you're going to do that with all of these. Now, after that, you gathered up all these things again, and now you have an excess. So what you need to do is take this jute and then recycle it. Actually, it said dismantle, I believe, before, but you can decide get rid of all of it. Say OK. I'm not going to do it all, but yeah, so you can see what I said. So you're going to do all that. Then if you go to the replacement shop, you can see I have 86,000. Almost 87,000, and then here you can purchase things with what you have left over. I haven't done anything yet. It's very expensive. You're talking 1 heart, so one of these, and that doesn't give you 120. It gives you just 60 stamina, but that's 10,000. So I can only get 8 of those. That's not a whole lot. So not that I would want to get those, but I mean, you could get, this resets every day, so I could get 20. Marks the Dragon as well if I wanted to here, and work on that if I wanted to too. So I mean, there's the different things in here. You're not going to get the grilled sausage. I don't do that. Maybe you want to get 5-minute speed ups for 100. Sure. I mean, probably want the Mark of the Dragon more than anything, I guess, but not recommended. In that regards. So let's move on. We're going to go back in the castle. I want to talk about the mints in the hospitals. So everybody's different, and you can see how many I have, and I'm not perfect, so what I have might not be exactly what you have, and somebody else might be better or something. I don't know. There's different trains of thought on this. My recommendation is, if you're an early castle, early stages of your development, is to make basically all hospitals. Not all of them. I mean, maybe you want some. Maybe you want 1 or 2 of these mints in here, because they do give you the training speed, but you're really not, when you're early on, you're really not worried about training a whole lot of troops. So I wouldn't recommend that. But you're also, if you accidentally get attacked, or you're unbubbled, or whatever it may be, these hospitals can really, really save you, because they give you 40,000 hospital capacity. They do, and they also give you 5% health, which is good for defense as well. So as you can see, I have kind of split it even. I've done not quite even. I have a few more hospitals than I do these mints, because when you get to tier 4, then you want that extra 20% to speed them up to get them, because they take a lot of speeders to make them, and plus a 2% attack for total attack is really, really good as well. So it gives me an extra 14%. Then you could actually, if you're, depending on how risky you want to get, you could actually dismantle some of these, turn them into mints, and make more attack. You have more speeding, and it's really personal preference when it comes to that kind of thing. So just kind of kind of consider that as well. Another tip I want to give is, so if you go to the training grounds, you click on the training grounds, and actually it's coming up here soon too. So if you collect your diamonds over here, you can see this the results countdown. So 21, there's about 21 minutes left. So in 21 minutes, I'm going to get, if I stay where I'm the position that I'm at, I'm going to get 150 diamonds. What my tip would be is, when this gets down to about the last 5 minutes, I would recommend saving your attacks until those last 5 minutes. And then when they get there, use them all. Because if I can get this up, if you look here, if I could get up inside, say inside the top 10, then I'm going to get 300 diamonds instead of the 150. I'm going to double that. It may only be for that one time, because you may only get hit back down, but wouldn't you want to get those 300, have that chance for, you know, another, I think it's 3 or 4 hours, I believe, whatever it is, for the next time that you do it. It says it right here, every 3 hours. So for the next 3 hours, you might be able to stay inside the top 10 if your defense is good enough. I definitely recommend doing that, because that'll really, really help you in the long run. Because you'll actually get a lot. So, you know, what reset comes, wait the 3, so resets in 20 minutes, wait for the, you know, after reset you get 3 more hours, or do it before. I mean, however you want to do it. You can actually space them out as well, space out how many you know, times you do it. You get in the top 10 and you don't want to use the rest of your, you know, attacks, then don't do that. But that's just something else to think about. So this is just the first part. I have a lot more tips that I'm going to do, general tips like this. So I'll be doing that probably in my next video. So if you have any questions, or maybe you have maybe some tips you want to give me that, you know, that you may think that, you know, I have included in here that might be better, or just something to assist, I'm definitely open for everything. I don't know everything myself. I don't think anybody really does. There's just so much stuff. There's so many different things, you know, so many dynamics to this game going on. So, but until then, mac out.